Hey everybody, welcome to May, and this is the 6th Battle of the Beer here on Flexipose YouTube channel. And this month we are doing Pale Ales. So,
yes.
You know, we're slowly progressing up the hop scale. Lighter, complex colors.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably not going to make any sense, and that's okay, because that's what we do here. We don't make sense, but that's a part of our charm and our appeal.
That's
like
right.
That weird cousin that you don't really know at family reunions, but you think you want to get to know them because they're just kind of odd.
I was just going to say we're the everyman, but that works too.
So, why don't we just talk about the beer? And Lucas, are you going to share with me what you brought?
If I have to. I brought, for today, my pale ale is the Lagunitas Dogtown Pale Ale.
I've only had maybe like one or two of their beers, so I do not believe I've ever had this. So
yeah, I've never heard of them.
I'm looking forward to it. Oh, they're in California?
California, Petaluma. Not sure where that is. Petaluma with an M, actually, so redaction. Now, we did know before we started the show that this bottle has quite a bit of sediment at the bottom.
So we're going to see how much Lucas ends up with.
Yeah, mine's going to look like lemonade, freshly squeezed.
No, as you can see, though, I mean, there's still going to be... You're still going to get some sediment no matter what.
Well, it's very floaty. It almost looks like lemon.
Being a home brewer, I'm really not afraid of sediment, though.
It's my favorite part.
So you have a very, very nice yellow appearance. You know, very...
Looks like a lemon drop.
Gosh, it's after you're having all these darker beers that we've had so far, ever since we've done these, even before we did video, you know. It's a nice change.
That has got quite a scent to it.
I want to say that's the... Like last time, I think I got the hops and the rye mixed up, but this I'm definitely pulling the hop smell off of.
Mm-hmm.
And almost... I don't know what the smell is, but every time, like when I drive by Founders, when they're brewing something, and you can just—that's what I'm.
That grain,
that grain smell. I'm pulling that off of the head immediately.
Yeah, it does. You're right, especially for a lighter beer. That's kind of surprising.
Not a lot of action going on with the mouthfeel. I mean, It's not. I mean, it's a pale ale, so there's not going to be not going to be a lot of body to it. I do get like a little bit of sweetness on that first taste, but then the pale just, and you get
it's that familiar honey almost.
Yeah,
but I hate to say that for everyone, but it really does remind me of honey a little bit. It must be something to do with a hop or something that has that characteristic in common.
When we ever go to a different brewery, we'll have her try. Like we'll usually get samplers, you know, and she'll have a pale ale just because it's a little lighter. Yeah. And then once that bitterness hits her mouth,
it's like a lemon.
It's like we're like, yeah, you hate pale ale. We should never probably do that again. So, but I don't feel like the bitterness is like too in your face.
No, this is
not like based on what I was smelling. I thought with that green smell, that grassy, smell I'm pulling.
Yeah, it was very strong on the nose.
Anything you'd like to add, or anything that from the notes that you have on there?
You know, when I was researching it, pretty much it just said a multi-body with a hoppy finish. So pretty basic. I mean, what can you say about a pale ale? They're fairly straightforward. Score time.
All right, we will do the scores on this, and we'll come back to crack open my selection. All right, the scores are done. For yours.
For mine.
So, for my selection this month, we're going south of the border. That's right. This is a pale ale. It's called Queen of the Night, and it's by the Los Muertos Brewing Company. So if you want to get fully and technical, we have Cerveza de los Muertos, but again, this is Queen of the Night. obviously an import from Mexico. But, you got to like the Sugar Skull artwork that you'll find adorning the bottle, which is in theme of the Day of the Dead Festival.
Excellent.
So you know me, I love Grim Fandango and things like that, so
well,
it's right up there
I
for
love
me.
Beer bottle labels, so...
You are big on the artwork.
I do like the artwork.
So let's pour this puppy for you, sir.
No, that one was the puppy. This one's the queen of the... Yep. I'm just going to let that joke die.
Yeah, that was
quite a bit darker. I mean, we're talking like different shade of, it's basically orange.
Mm-hmm.
Bronze, if you will. Not much on the nose. A slight sweetness, but nothing floral, nothing quite as strong as the Dogtown.
Not at all.
Quite a bit thinner body than I was expecting, given the appearance, but not unlikable for me, but not what I was expecting, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just gonna come out and say it. There's not much here.
No, there's not much taste at all.
There's flavor is very, and it's almost non-existent. This is very.
I detect some slight grain to it, obviously, but like a malt, I guess.
What was the ABV on the Dogtown?
6.2, 6.1.
Okay. This is 4.8. So it's lighter, but it's like
there's really nothing there.
I wouldn't go out of my way to drink it.
It doesn't taste bad.
It's not bad, no. But
it's not.
Typically, if you're a craft beer enthusiast and you go out of your way for craft beer, you're wanting something more that you can't get just from anywhere. A little, flavor wise and things like that. But yeah, it's not bad tasting, but
I'm not really familiar with many Mexican beers either, so I guess I can't really say.
I think it's, if I remember, it even says on the. I thought either when I was researching, I read that it was an American style pale ale, so it wasn't geared towards anything. Because all I've had from Mexican beers, your typical Dos Equis, your Corona, Modelo, Tecate. So, and those all I feel like, I don't know where those breweries stack up in Mexico, but they feel like they're just like a domestic Mexican beer.
Yeah. I've had a couple of them. They taste fairly similar. That domestic flavor, but this it doesn't taste like that, but it doesn't taste like a lot.
I feel like, are you getting like a weird off flavor in the very back end? I feel like I'm tasting something that shouldn't be there, so I wonder if maybe shelf life was an issue on this.
Nothing that would make me feel like it was. Oh.
There's a little something there. I don't think that's supposed to be there, so I wonder if that could be just an issue with. Regardless if that's there or not, I feel like the flavor it didn't affect the overall flavor, but I think that off note shouldn't be there. But it's still I can still feel like I can judge what that flavor should be.
Yeah, I don't think that it was overly affecting the beer, but I don't know.
All right, I think this will be pretty quick. So
my scores will speak for themselves.
Let's do the scores on this, and when we come back, we'll have our winner for this month.
All right, well, the scores have been tabulated, and I suppose I shall share mine first, starting with the Dogtown Pale Ale. For the appearance, it looked about what I expected, a little yellower than I was expecting, but, that didn't bother me too much, so I gave it a 5 on the appearance. For the mouthfeel, a 7, just because it's a little better than I expected. It has that drinkability again of what I would expect. I would drink this in the summertime, so if I'm thinking of it that way, then that's definitely something I'd want. For taste, it was pretty average as far as that goes. I gave it a 5. It didn't really stand out to me from some of the other pale ales I've had before. But my overall satisfaction was a 7. I didn't mind that it didn't have an overabundance of taste, but it's got drinkability, and I could definitely see myself drinking it in the warmer seasons.
So what was your average for that?
My overall would be a 6 for that.
Okay.
And then for the Queen of the Night,
This should be interesting.
Yeah, I gotta say this was a pretty big disappointment, and unfortunately, it's for now it'll be I think the worst that I've rated a beer. The appearance I gave a 3. It had some head on it when we poured it, but it looks like urine like when you first wake up and haven't drank water in like a week. So I mean, when I think of a pale ale, I think pale. The coloring, it's not there. You know what I mean? It looks like an amber ale or something like we did last month. So, for the mouthfeel, I gave it a 6. It felt fairly similar to the Dogtown Pale Ale. For taste, though, I gave it a 4. It wasn't offensive. It just was practically non-existent for me.
So what was your overall?
My overall satisfaction was a 4. I could drink it. I don't think it's worth buying. I don't think it's worth purchasing. I'd probably be upset if I picked one of them up and was hoping for something. So for an overall of 4.25.
4.25. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna drop the pen.
4.25. Okay.
What do you think?
Dogtown. I'm pretty similar with you. I gave an appearance of a 6.5.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess I just liked it. I don't. Mouthfeel was a 6, taste was a 7, and I gave my overall satisfaction of a 7 as well.
So pretty close with
yeah, I liked that it had the similar taste of the pale ale, but I liked that little hoppiness that was in there as well.
Yeah.
So my overall for it was a 6.6 for this beer. Queen of the Night, I don't know why, now looking back at it appearance-wise, what I gave it a 6.5 in appearance, and I guess I'm just grading it solely on how it looked, and was not going against...
You weren't comparing
I wasn't comparing. Now, if I would have compared it to another pale ale, I think I kind of wish I wouldn't have scored it quite so favorably in that result. Mouthfeel was a 5. Taste was a 4.5. Just, I'm interested to try it again to see if that off flavor isn't there. That was just isolated to this bottle that we got. My overall satisfaction was a 4. I mean, like you said, if it was available to me, I would drink it, but I wouldn't by any means go on my way to get this.
Yeah.
So my overall score for this was a 5.
A 5.
So no real surprise here. We have our winner in the Lagunitas.
Pretty clear, too.
Pale Ale. I've had an IPA here from this company before, and that was all right. I mean, it wasn't
the greatest.
It wasn't the greatest, but I mean, it was decent. So that's disappointing that it was a stinker.
Yeah. Well, it definitely wins my vote for the best art out of it, too, because this looks like, I mean, that is just
I think they seem to feature that in all their labels. It's just the text.
Yeah, it does. It does. All of them look pretty much similar, maybe with a different, smaller picture on it, but it's not very appealing to me.
So next month will be June.
Yes.
So we're thinking what? IPAs?
Yeah, we're going to go into the realm of IPAs, which should be interesting for me because I do not visit that realm often.
It's one of my favorites. So why don't you come back then, and we'll watch Lucas suffer and me revel in glory.